Welcome to Triumph IAS. It's a daily mains practice question and answer series. This program is exclusively designed for UPSC CSE aspirants. In this video discussion, we will discuss UPSC CSE mains previous 25-year questions. Question number 1. The ideal solution of depleting groundwater resources in India is water harvesting system. How can it be made effective in urban areas? Let's start with the introduction of the answer. India is the highest user of groundwater in the world with only 8% of rainwater being captured. In India, over 90% of the rural water supply and over 50% of the urban water supply are sourced from aquifers. The main body of the answer should be number 1. According to the Central Groundwater Board, CGWB, majority of districts in India had experienced significant depletion in groundwater storage. Number 2. Rainwater harvesting is a process involving collection and storage of rainwater with the help of artificially designed system that runs off natural or man-made catchment areas, e.g. rooftop, compounds, rock surface or hill slopes. Number 3. Harvesting rainwater or water conservation is a centuries-old practice in India. Bawri, Jhalra, Kund, Tanka, Fad, Zing, Jackwells and Ruja system are some of the traditional water conservation systems practiced in India. Number 4. Advantages of water harvesting system. The cost of recharge to subsurface reservoir is lower than surface reservoirs. The aquifer serves as a distribution system also. Number 5. No land is wasted for storage purpose and no population displacement is involved. Groundwater is not directly exposed to evaporation and pollution. Effects rise in groundwater levels. Number 6. Mitigates effects of drought. Rainwater can be harvested into waste storage of rainwater on surface for future use and recharge to groundwater. Number 7. Effective water harvesting system in urban areas. In urban areas where there is inadequate groundwater supply or surface resources are either lacking or insufficient, rainwater harvesting offers an ideal solution. Number 8. Helps in utilizing the primary source of water and prevent the runoff from going into sewer or storm drains, thereby reducing the load on treatment plants. Number 9. Reduces urban flooding. Recharging water into the aquifers help in improving the quality of existing groundwater through dilution. Conclusion of the answer is: in urban areas, groundwater can be recharged by harvesting the runoff through recharge pit, recharge trench, tube well, recharge well in order to maintain the sustainability of groundwater usage. Cost-effective, timely and sustained recharge of aquifers directly is the need of the hour. Question number 2. Performance of welfare schemes that are implemented for vulnerable sections is not so effective due to absence of their awareness and active involvement at all stages of policy process. Discuss. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. Since independence, public participation in policy making has been minimal. Governance was process and procedure-centric and generally a top-down approach was used in policy making. The main body of the answer should be: number 1. Social policy is its concern with weaker and vulnerable sections of society such as poor, women, children, disabled, backward classes so as to bring them at par with the rest of society. Number 2. Thus social policies visualize of an egalitarian society where inequalities are reduced to minimum level. Social policies do not exist in isolation. Number 3. These are determined to a large extent by the socio-political scenario of a nation, its economic viability, and last but not the least, by socio-cultural ethos of people of the nation. Number 4. By participating in policy making, citizens help ensure that their needs and interests are taken into account in decision-making processes that affect their lives at both national and local levels. Number 5. Furthermore, Public engagement improves the political position of marginalized or vulnerable groups, such as women, youth, and minorities that are often not taken into consideration. Number 6. It is important to note that if care is not taken while identifying the groups and mechanisms for interaction, citizen involvement can lead to a sense of disempowerment and a reduced sense of agency, and participation can be perceived as meaningless, tokenistic, or manipulated. Number 7. Over the last few years, we have witnessed a fundamental shift in the narrative of social justice for the vulnerable sections. Number 8. The focus has moved from the politics of welfarism and entitlement to a more participatory model of empowerment. By all means, the Government of India, GOI, is effectively exploring multiple facets of empowerment for the socially deprived sections of the society. Number 9. Within the dichotomy of development and justice, one should not ignore the core responsibilities of the state. As far as development is solely concerned, non-state actors are sufficiently equipped with the resources and wherewithal to carry out developmental activities. However, more sustainable inclusion can only be realized with the intervention of the state. Conclusion of the answer is: policies facilitated by actions must ensure adequate representation of the vulnerable sections, weaker sections in cooperatives, corporate and civil societies through well-organized interfaces, as well as through engagements at both institutional as well as at individual levels. Question number 3. Define the concept of carrying capacity of an ecosystem as relevant to an environment. Explain how understanding this concept is vital while planning for sustainable development of a region. Let's start with the introduction of the answer. The term carrying capacity can simply be defined as the maximum population that can be supported or sustained by an ecosystem over time. Carrying capacity can equally mean the maximum pressure or load that a system can conveniently withstand before breaking down. The main body of the answer should be: Number 1. A system breaks down when it can no longer cope with the pressure from the loads it is carrying. In like manner, when the carrying capacity of the earth as a system can no longer sustain the pressure of population explosion, the unacceptable impacts occur in the form of deteriorating or negative effects. Number 2. In other words, carrying capacity of an area refers to an extreme limit. This limit defines the population carrying capacity of the area. If this limit is crossed, then the nature will react by imposing pressure to resist the abrupt growth and development of the people, resulting into equilibrium. Number 3. These pressures can be in form of floods, droughts, famines, landslides, etc. Carrying capacity has been conceptualized differently among various professions. Number 4. For instance, in the construction industry, the term is used to refer to the ability of the foundations, materials, or structures to accommodate a given load, load-bearing capacity, in terms of either weight or volume and number of cars a freeway or a bridge can carry smoothly. Number 5. The concept and premises of carrying capacity are employed as tools for the operationalization of sustainable development. Number 6. Carrying capacity of a region, comprising its supportive and assimilative capacities, is defined as the ability to produce desired outputs from a constrained resource base to achieve a higher and more equitable quality of life, while maintaining desired environmental quality and ecological health. Number 7. The proposed planning process explicitly includes interaction between the community, experts and decision-makers to arrive at trade-offs between the desired production-consumption levels through the exploitation of supportive capacity within its regenerative potential, and environmental quality within the assimilative capacity of the regional ecosystem. Conclusion of the answer is: these trade-offs result in structural shifts necessary for reconciling competing demands in the overall process of socio-economic development through appropriate technological, managerial, and organizational interventions.